Go Get 'Emism show. Matter of fact, it's the daily, it's the daily Go Get 'Emism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talking about no money. Well, what we really talking about is whether you will listen to somebody who doesn't have a lot of money or doesn't have any money. Some people really don't respect people who aren't making good money. I don't know what it is about that. I think it's American capitalism. I really do. I think it's American capitalism that has taught us or conditioned us or has fooled us into believing that if a person has money or is making a lot of money, then they are probably smart or they can show us something that we didn't know before. I'm not sure if I'm buying it, but we're going to talk about it tonight. So the actual title of the show is, If You Ain't Giving Me Money, You Ain't Telling Me Nothing. If you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. You know, this is a situation that a lot of couples get into. This is a situation that a lot of people who are in relationships encounter, and sometimes they do it knowingly, and sometimes they do it without knowing exactly what's going on. But I suspect that more people know that they're in a situation like that than people who don't know that they're in a situation like that, because you know how you got with somebody. That's not a hard thing for you to remember or understand. As a matter of fact, that's something that sticks with most people, especially men. A man knows that if, in order to get the woman that he wanted, he had to pay her way to everything. He had to give her money. He basically had to put some good money in the pot in order to get the kind of income, get the kind of outcome that he was looking for. Now, it's not like the money will make a woman more beautiful or anything like that, but it might make a beautiful woman a lot more receptive to whatever it is that you're selling. And it doesn't have to be a beautiful woman. Beauty is actually in the eyes of the beholder. I actually believe that, because what I might think is beautiful, what I might think is pretty, whatever I might think is sexy or something like that, that might not apply to somebody else who thinks that something else is a little bit better. But we have this situation going on with a lot of people. A lot of people wholeheartedly believe that they shouldn't listen to anybody who's not making a lot of money. They're not listening to anybody that doesn't make. I've heard people say things like, when somebody is flipping the mouth and they don't have a lot of money, those people suffer a lot. Because what's the first thing that a lot of people are going to say? Yo, broke ass, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit you talking about. You know what I mean? You broke this, broke that. When you lead off calling somebody broke, yeah, it sticks. It sticks. Because the person that's probably trying to put you onto something, put you up on game, advise you, or, even try to put you in your place or tell you about yourself. You're not trying to hear that. You ain't trying to hear that if they don't have no money. So you might look at them, because many of us believe that we can tell how much money a person has just by the clothes that they wear, the jewelry that they might be rocking, or the car that they might be driving, or maybe even the neighborhood that they live in the house that they reside. We make generalizations, we make assumptions about how somebody is living. And that might not be so bad. But where it gets sticky is the fact that sometimes we might make a determination of our respect level based on how much money somebody makes. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it 1,001 times tonight. I do not think that Donald Trump would have been president of the United States had he not been recognized as a billionaire in his career. I don't think so. Because Think about the reasons that a lot of people gave for voting for Trump. Well, he's a billionaire. He has money, so he would know how to run this country. He would know how to fix the economy. Totally ignoring that he's bankrupt. He's bankrupted casinos in Atlantic City. Three casinos. Do you know how hard it is? Where are my gambling people? Where are y'all? Where are my gambling people? If you've gone to a casino and lost a bunch of money, you know that the house always wins. Well, evidently, when it's a Trump casino, the house doesn't exactly win. I'm not sure who does win, but it ain't him. Maybe the court system. What's going on? T. Carey, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Marvina Bigby, good to see me some you, ma. Always. And who we got? James Grant says, oh, no, I'm out. He's a Trumper. I'm not a Trumper? Are you crazy? He said, oh, hell no. He's a Trumper. I don't know where you got that from, but I'm definitely not a Trumper. All right. Marvina said, James, pay attention. Hey, man. See, right there. But Marvina, that's a pretty good example of how sometimes when people make assumptions about people, they have already made the decision about whether they're going to listen or not. And money is one of those things that makes people listen. If you want to get somebody's attention and you want to hold somebody's attention, let somebody know how much money you have and tell them that you're going to give them some of it. You will get their attention and you will hold their attention until you either deliver or you fail. But they're going to listen, especially if they need money or if they're the type of person that tries to be deceptive or manipulative and take money away from other people who they don't even think should have money. Yeah, you know how it goes. A lot of times people who don't have money think that people who have money are just lucky. He ain't work hard for that money. His parents gave him the money, or he hit the lottery, or he just got lucky. I mean, a lot of people think that. He didn't really make any money. He just tripped and fell on some money. What we got? Brotherhood 99 ER. I don't know what y'all talking about. Thanos. What's good, Thanos? James Grant. I thought you thought I was a thumper and you was leaving. Issue. You said issue a Freemason. You mean, am I a Freemason? Hell no. Illuminati for me. Diego Garcia. What's good? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate you. So that's what we're talking about tonight. If you ain't paying me, if you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. Listen, a lot of men have to go through this type of situation with women. And one of the saddest things about it is that a lot of men think that this is the way it's supposed to be. A lot of men really think that, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. When they hear paying the cost to be the boss, they think that it's a straight payment to be the boss. Well, since I pay for everything, that means I can run everything. Yeah, that's one way to secure control of a situation. Is it the best way? Is it the only way? We know that it's not the only way because we can clearly see that there are other ways to seize control of a situation if seizing control of a situation is what you want to do. But when you pay the cost to be the boss, what that really means is that you take responsibility for a situation, and so you handle it. You set a precedent, you follow through, and you come back and wash, rinse, and repeat. That's paying the cost to be the boss. People who don't know how money is made and wealth is secure and how wealth is secured often think that, bosses don't do any work. They don't understand. You don't make millions or billions of dollars through manual labor. That's not how you'll never get rich through manual labor. Not that there's anything against manual labor because, I believe in a good day's work, regardless of what your profession is or your skill or whatever you might call it. Nonetheless, we have to deal with the situation that, we have to deal with the situation that, if you have to be right there in order to make money, then there's only a certain amount of money that you're going to be able to make. You want to make millions or billions of dollars, you got to have other people making money for you and bringing it to you while you're over in Asia somewhere, securing contracts, deals, and negotiations. You can have people in the United States, Canada, Mexico running your business, with integrity or whatever, and making sure that you get paid. So that's how that goes. What we got? What's that? Amila? I don't mean to butcher your name. I'm going to say Amila Hudnall. Says, why are you gay then? Wow. I don't even believe I went through all of that just to read that dumb shit. I went through all of that just to read that dumb shit. Stuff this in your mouth, you fucking bitch. I can't believe that shit. See, that's the problem. I'm so disciplined that I'm reading right off the script. and it made me read that dumb shit. Eat a dick. All right. Let me see. Daniel says, I like your stream. I'm a subscribe. Yo, good looking on that. Matter of fact, let me give you a 2-piece. Thanks for the subscription, my dude. I appreciate that. And we just getting started. We just getting started. You ain't seen that yet. Damn, James, you asking a lot of questions. He says, do you identify? Wait a minute. Do you identify as him, her, though? That clashes with the him, her. The fuck is you talking about? Ain't no pronouns around. Listen. Hold on. Let's get something straight. Let's do a little ethnic cleansing here. This ain't no LGBTQ channel, none of that shit. We're not doing that. Anybody can listen to this show, but if you come into this platform looking for some gay shit or whatever, you come to the wrong place. You can get the fuck out of here with that. There's none of that going on. There are heterosexual men and heterosexual women on this platform. That's what it's for. We believe in families. We believe in communities, and not that community though. Hey, I live and I let live, but this is not the place for that. There are plenty of other places down the street where you can find that. You won't find that here. We don't talk about that kind of shit here. Okay. Dano says, you got to open your money wise. I mean, you got to spend your money wisely. Like, I'll make an example. So imagine a picture in your head, 2 guys at a tall building where you can get a job. They say that they'll pay $100 a month, but the boss lied. So the next day, the guy quits his job and finds another one. So you got to use your money wisely. Okay. All right, cool. Zato says, I don't like gay. Just don't ask. Yo, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. I'm starting the show. Normally I start off the show playing my drum. Normally I start off the show with the But today I said, you know what? I'm not going to play today. And this is the result I get. Oh my God. You know, I'm not going to stand up and do this show the whole time. I'm not standing up the whole time. Marvina says, I live in a rural area, blue collar workers. Mostly, we don't see a lot of men or women paying to the boss. No, no. They give to the boss from their labor. That's what I mean. I don't mean actually, yeah. I don't mean employees all give to the boss because whatever your weekly salary is or your hourly salary, it's already been calculated into a budget. So your job is only going to pay you what they can pay you and still make a lot of money in profits. So the work that you do adds up to revenue that goes into the company. And that's why jobs are constantly trying to cut overtime. Hold on, we have a call on the line. Let's see what's good.
You have a call from
caller with the last number 0635. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind right now?
Hey, son, what's good with you, bro?
Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. What's up with you?
Yeah, I'm just calling to tap in with you.
Good. All right, let's do this. Let's have talk.
Yeah, you go to Las Vegas?
Nah, you know what? I've never been to Vegas.
Okay, yeah, I go to Vegas and I like to play the slots, and I go to slot machines and blackjack, and I was just tapping to see if you play blackjack or play the slots.
No, I've never played slots, and the reason that I don't play slots is because I don't like computers or electronics dealing with my cards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, I want to be able to play. I don't know how a slot machine works. That's just luck to me. That's kind of why I don't even really like roulette. But I like blackjack and I like craps because I get to touch cards and I get to roll the dice. So I feel like I have a little bit more control about over my destiny.
Yeah. Okay. So blackjack. So as far as blackjack, like where you like to play blackjack at?
And I go to the casino and play blackjack.
Where you from?
I'm from Philly, so I go to we have casinos in Philly. And I don't go to the casinos a lot because I don't like to lose money. You know what I mean? But before they had casinos in Philly, because they haven't had they've only had casinos in Philly for the past maybe about the last 20 years, something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Before then, I used to go to Atlantic City.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just tapping in with you, bro. I saw with your channel and just thought I would just tap in with you. That's all.
Well, check this out. Before you go, what about the topic? Because the topic is actually, if you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. So you know how some people will only really listen to people if they can get something from them or if they think they have a lot. You know how there's some people, male and female, but especially female sometimes, who will only listen to or submit to a man that has like a high means. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that can really be a problem in some relationships because you might think that you're in a relationship because of the feelings that y'all have for each other, but come to find out, y'all really only in a relationship that's transactional. In other words, the minute that you stop giving that woman the money that you've been giving her or more, she gonna be out and she don't feel no kind of way about it because that's the way y'all started off. But
yeah, well, I've been in a relationship for over the past 10 years, but we that was about 10 years ago, and we was about 10 years ago we divorced. You feel me? And she wasn't she just wasn't it wasn't right. Was in that relationship, and
Okay.
so I had to not. It wasn't right in the relationship, and
Okay.
and I didn't feel that her spirits wasn't right, and I just felt that I had to deplete from her. And
Okay.
so, yes, and so I mean, she was good in the part that she wasn't good, but she just wasn't right, And I don't really want to I don't want to really thought that she wasn't in her spirit, but I don't want to do too much on top of the relationship.
Okay.
But I was really talking too much on gambling. That's what I was really talking the topic about. But but like I said, I was tapping in on your channel, and I was then you just but yeah, she just wasn't right in the relationship, bro. And
Okay.
she was she was oh man, she cheated on me, and she just I mean she just wasn't right, bro. And I don't really want to speed on I caught and I had man, I don't even want to talk on that. But
well, hold on. I know this is a sensitive topic for you, whatever. But if you care to share, like if you know the reason that she cheated on you, what would you say that it is?
I used to bring to her I would bring her food, and bring it into her lunch, and I just thought that just everything was just everything. And so one time I brought her, I brought her lunch, and so her man, I would bring her lunch, and then the dude that she that she was with, I thought that I just thought that he was her, just her, I just thought that it was just her and they were just friends, and so I thought of her just friend, and so I thought I brought her longer in just a friend, because she was like oh man, it was just real, it was just wrong in their relationship, in her relationship, because one time I it was like it was her hand. I'm like, why is her hand holding her longer than her hand? And that wasn't just a friend, that in just, her in a friend, and, I was looking, I'm like, wait a minute, why is she looking her longer than her hand? And so, yeah, man, man, you just got me long thinking about it in that time. But yeah, bro, that happened. And so I lost in that relationship, and I divorced her.
Okay.
I divorced her, bro. I said, look, if you don't talk to her, man, I got so mad, and I caught her. And I told her, I said, look, and when I told her, I said, look, because she told her that she was just her friend, and I said, if you don't tell her, anyway, bro. So yeah, man.
Okay, I got you. Yo, I appreciate you calling in, my dude. and I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, bro.
And call in anytime. We
Yeah,
hit,
bro.
you know, we on Monday through Friday we on at this time. So any,
Okay, brother.
you could, if it's a topic that we talking about that you want to jump in, don't hesitate to call. Even if it's one
Oh
that's, even
man,
if it's not
you
one.
got me. Okay, man. Good talking to you, brother.
Yo, have a good night.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I mean, listen. Sometimes, man, there can be certain triggers that people that get to people. You know, there can be certain things that trigger some negative thoughts in your mind, negative memories, negative feelings, and stuff like that. And I would imagine that's something that we've all had to deal with. Who is listening to this show who has never been in love, never had their heart broken, never been disappointed, never been promised something and was lied to or whatever. But it happens, man. It's human nature, and it's rites of passage that we have to adhere to or whatever. It ain't always right, and it's definitely not always pretty. But we're talking about if you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. Have any of you dealt with a situation where somebody judged everybody on their income, their financial status, or what they thought that they could get from somebody? Because for people who are predatory, for people who are shallow and predatory, they don't care if you have a lot of money or a little bit of money. They'll take whatever it is that you have. But when we start talking about the respect level, dealing with somebody who only respects people who have a lot of money or who can do something for them, they are probably not the type of people that you want to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But some of those people might be the people you grew up with. Some of those people might be family members. Some of those people might even be your children or your spouse or whatever. And so that's something that we have to deal with. Something we got to deal with. What up, Christina? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Marvina says, I meant women and men are not offering to pay people's bills in order to tell them what to do. Yeah, but some people, you know what, Marvina, you're right. You're right about that, because some people will take all of your money from you and they still won't do shit that you tell them to do or ask them to do or suggest for them, even things that might benefit them. Like in the case where maybe somebody has been unemployed for a while or whatever, out of work for a while, hurt for a while, out on disability or something like that. They're not in a situation where they can actually go to work and make an income to have a roof over their heads. So you let them stay in your crib. And you might even feed them and all of that kind of stuff, because you're trying to help them out and you know that they can't afford to do that for themselves. But at the same time, they still don't want to keep the place clean, pick the kids up from school, wash the dishes. At least don't turn the heat up to 90 degrees and the air conditioning all the way down to 50. At least don't do that. There's some people who just really feel like they are entitled. But when you start talking about personality factors, like I'll only be nice to people who are going to give me something or who have a lot. It sounds crazy to people who don't subscribe to that ideology, but for the people who do it, they don't feel no kind of way about it. They don't feel a way about it. They figure, hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. But that's something we got to deal with. That's something we have to deal with. So when we talk about, I wanted to add on something to that. Yeah, like in the case where It's funny, man, because there are so many levels to this. I always think it's funny when somebody says, you know, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Because they're basically saying that anything that makes money, then the ends justify the means. Well, what if what you're doing for the money, or what if what you do that's paying you is something illegal, or something that's rude, something that's obnoxious, something that's inappropriate, something that's immature, something that's not well thought out, something that's dangerous, something that could really, really, you know, get you hurt or something like that. What if it's like that? Some people don't care because all they care about is the money that something makes. And that's all they can see. They got on money colored glasses. Money colored glasses. Speaking of money colored glasses, speaking of money colored, it's Throwback Thursday, right? It's Throwback Thursday, right? Who remembers when anything that was the color money green was fly as hell? And when you think about it, what the hell was money green? Yeah, I had on this money green outfit. I bought these money green shoes. I got a money green car. Money green. When you really think about it, only well, okay. So would that be money green? Is that the color of what's that? The state treasury, or is that the White House? I don't know. But the $1 bill has almost no green in the front, but it has a lot of green in the back. Money green. Is it that great? Is it? Is it? I don't know. Anything back in the day, at least around my way, where I stay, anything that was colored money green was fly. Anything money green was dope. Anything that was colored money green was respectable. It's all good though. It's all good. Now we talking about somebody respecting somebody, listening to somebody, taking the advice from somebody, showing favor to somebody because they have money. And we all know people who do it. Maybe you're the type of person who did it before. I can't speak on it. I don't know a lot of y'all personally, but I'm sure that somebody within the sound of my voice was all about that cash, all about that cash, all about that cash, all about that cash. Yo, I'm all about that cash. You ain't got no money. This ain't gonna last. Yeah, you're my friend until the end, but you're not like Chucky. He had his own movie, so he made a couple of dollars. He even had 2 sequels. Yo, come through and holler. I want to talk to all of y'all. I'm going ball till I fall. I'm talking to all Mall, I beat it. Yo, I eat it. I bought out the bar. Yeah, I'm drinking like a star. All champagne and fine wine. You can't afford that. Get out of mine. I'm a star and a shine. I'm the star of the solar system. I ain't got to roll with them and I dissed them because I found out they ain't have a lot of cash and I ain't got time for that shit. I got it in the stash. Yeah, smoking like hash. I only smoke the good green, just for real, chronic, man. Yo, or even the Kush. You not got more money out this motherfuckers in Bush. Okay, all right. So do y'all understand what we talking about? All right, hold on. Hold on. Dan Foster Wallace says, enjoying the sermon today. Listening while washing my 3 Barracudas. Really? All right, cool. Wash the Barracuda. Wash the Barracuda. I didn't know you could wash a fish, but cool. Andre says, I was killing the game. Yo. Hey, yo. And Maria Ramirez. Señorita Ramirez. Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez. What's going on, Mike? Good to see me some you. Always good to see me some you. Always, always. Dan Foster says, more money, more issues. Yeah, you could say that. With a lot of cash comes a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? Biggie said more money, more problems. I say more money, more responsibility. More money, more security. More money, more items to keep an eye on. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, so if you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. If you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Ain't giving me nothing, ain't telling me nothing. Ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. There are an unprecedented amount of people out there, especially in the United States, because we are capitalists. Capital. It's all about the money, all about the money. I got to get the money. Think about how many people that you know, and it could be you too. Think about how many people you know that really can't feel good. They on some bipolar shit, some depression shit. You know what I mean? Like, I need some Ambien because their financial situation is messed up. Think about it. Some people are deeply entrenched in that type of thinking. Like, and I got bills I gotta pay. I got bills I gotta pay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do have bills that you have to pay, but that shouldn't hinder your ability to be able to feel good about yourself, to be able to feel good about life. You know, there have been plenty of people who have committed suicide because they, you know, they lost a bunch of money and whatever. I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? Take your own life over that. But hey, you're not going to tell me that it was the money alone that made you do it. I'm thinking that there probably were other things going on in your life that weren't adding up to the effort that you were putting into it too. Or should I say as well? Andre Gusson says, so are you trying to say respect costs? With me, it doesn't cost. I try to respect everybody up front. I pay it forward. I mean, I'm not going to respect you just because you have money. I mean, to be honest with you, man, most people I know that have an awful lot of money, I'm talking about 7 figures, 8 figures or whatever, you know, let me just put it this way. They feel no remorse about the techniques that they have to employ in order to reach the means that they are seeking out. Hopefully you can add the math up. I'm just saying it straight up and down. Some people don't give a shit about nobody else. They just care about their own financial security because that's their claim to fame. And that's just the truth of the matter. Some people don't give a shit about nobody else and they don't even feel bad about it. It is what it is. Dan Foster says, I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free. And you ain't never lied. Well, except for one thing. There are some things in this world that are free, but we make you pay for them anyway. Water is free. There's plenty of free water out there in the world, but we make you pay for it. Electricity is free if you can find a way to contain it and process it, but they make you pay for it. Love is free. Real love is, but that fake love costs a lot of money, baby. That fake love costs a lot of money, and plenty of people are willing to go in their piggy banks and pay for it. Because their thinking is that if I pay for it, like even if it's just of a sexual nature, they figure if I pay for sex, then I can just go ahead and get my shit off. You know, she goes her separate way. I go mine. I don't have to get my feelings involved in it. I don't have to invest any time into it. I just go, wham, bam, thank you, man, wham, Hold on, hold on. I said, wham, bam, thank you, man. I said, yeah. I said, wham, bam, thank you, man. Yeah, yeah. I said, wham, bam, thank you, man. I said, wham, bam, thank you. I said, wham, bam, thank you. Wham, bam, thank you, man. 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 No love. I said, wham, bam, thank you, man. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Wham, bam, thank you. Yeah. All right. We good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. All right. Marina says, yes, respect is huge. It is. And you may not really realize how important and how huge respect is until somebody won't give you your due respect. And imagine how you would feel if somebody is not giving you the respect that you deserve because they think that you don't have enough money to deserve respect. And this happens. As a black man, it has happened to me. Going into car dealerships, going into car dealerships and them thinking that you don't have money to pay for the car or buy a car. So I'm thinking like, so I'm all the way out. I came all the way out here in the county from Philly. You think I came out here just to test drive a vehicle? I mean, it ain't that deep. Who can't afford a car? I might not be able to afford my dream car, whatever that is. I haven't really nailed that down. But I can drive something nice. And this goes along with the topic too. Last year, I went to a Lexus dealer. This is just a Lexus dealer. Nothing wrong with, not that there's anything wrong with a Lexus. I have two of them. But I went to a Lexus dealer to test drive a car that I wanted, I was interested in. And I drove my Lex to the Lex dealership. Anyway, the guy working in the dealership act like he didn't really want to help me. He didn't want me to test drive the car. He didn't want me to, like, he wasn't rude. He wasn't disrespectful, but he had a kind of energy. He had the kind of energy that made you think or know that he doesn't think that any black men who aren't celebrities have any money. That was the energy that I was getting from him. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, you a car salesman. You don't own the place. And I wouldn't care if he owned the place. Are you saying that you don't want to make any money selling these cars? Because I could take my business elsewhere. But yeah, because he didn't think I had money, he wasn't giving me the respect that I deserved as a customer. Well, because I didn't like his demeanor, because I didn't like the way that he was acting, I didn't like his energy, I refused to let him run my credit. No, you don't need to run my credit. You don't need to run my credit because I don't need an inquiry coming from you that'll drop my credit score. You know, whenever you get a new credit card or let somebody look into your credit information, that comes up on your credit report as an inquiry. And an inquiry, too many inquiries in a short amount of time can drop your credit score. But speaking of credit score, Can you imagine somebody wanting to be with somebody just because they have good credit? I've seen it done. Yes, I have. I've seen it done. So because one person couldn't afford a car, or they couldn't afford to they couldn't afford the mortgage on the house. Or maybe they could pay for the mortgage on the house, but it would put them in a financial hardship month after month after month. So instead of doing that, you can just buy a car outright or whatever and be through with it. But there are a lot of different ways to look at this situation. Some people just will not give you the respect that you deserve because they don't think that you have the money that's respectable to them. It's ridiculous. It is. So when I say, if you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. You're talking about a lack of respect on one hand, and you're also talking about either being greedy or maybe even being bougie. So people who or don't think have a lot of money, you don't think that you should treat them with respect. What if they're elderly? Because weren't we brought up to make sure that we are respectable? I'm sorry. Weren't we brought up to believe or know that you always treat your elders with respect? Weren't we all taught that lesson? Most of us were taught that lesson, right? JJ, what up, Jay? Says some of the most brilliant people I have ever met had little more than the clothes on their back, and some of the wealthiest barely had sense to come on out of the rain. Well, yeah. Your intelligence is not going to add up to your financial situation, your bank account, or anything like that. But in a way, all right, I can't escape the actual definition of what being a professional means. Being a professional just means that you make money at what you're doing. But you know how it is when you put care into what you do. You know all of the aspects about what you do, whatever that might be. Then somebody comes along and critiques your shit because they don't think that you are worthy of respect, because they think that they can do what you do. They think that you can do they think that they can do what you do. It's insulting, really. It is. But look on the bright side. The only reason that they think that the only reason that they think that they can do it is because you made it look easy. You may have made it look like even a caveman could do it. Even a caveman could do it. So, man, you're having problems with this calf. I don't know what's going on. It's a little sore. My calves are a little sore, yo. But yeah, why would you disrespect somebody just because you know that they don't have a lot of money? And how do you ever even know how much money somebody has? How do you really know? I mean, unless they tell you. Unless you was there when they got paid. If you were there when they got paid. Let me see. Rodriguez says, yes, we were taught to be respectful to our elderly. He says, yes. Love elderly people. Word. JJ says, I've been judged by many people in my travels because I have a southern accent. I typically use that to my advantage, and as you should. As you should, and you should. As you should. All right. Do me a favor, though, y'all. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like. Sometimes we come in and we forget to hit the like button. Maybe we don't know if we're going to be here for a while, but you should still do that for me. Just hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Subscribe to the channel. It don't cost you nothing. I'm not going to be begging you for money or nothing like that. It's a safe space. This is so safe. 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 This is the safe box. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. All right, so yeah, if you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. If you ain't giving me nothing, then you ain't telling me nothing. You ever think about the work position CEO? CEO. You're a CEO of a company. And you know, a lot of people think of a CEO and they think about the person who owns the company. I'm talking about primarily, I'm talking about, have you ever heard somebody say that they don't work for anybody else? You know, you have some people who are independent contractors or whatever, they do their thing. And they say, they're quick to say that they don't work for anybody else. Well, they may not work for any other company. They may not have a boss per se. But in any endeavor, you have customers. And if you start turning your customers off or turning your customers away from you, then guess what you're going to have? Nothing. So we all work for somebody in some capacity, even if we don't look at it that way. But there are so many people out here that are stressing, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, stressing that they don't work for anybody, or that that everybody should get their own and not have to work for nobody. I'm like, no, some people have to be employees. If we all got a lot, then none of us really have nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have a lot, somebody else probably ain't got nothing. All right. Marina says, I've been pulled over. They questioned, how could I afford the SUV? Yeah, the boys in blue. The boys in blue. My favorite people. I'm lying. I don't like the cops. I don't like cops, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I'll tell you one thing. Cops believe you when you seem like you have a lot. Now, of course, okay. Nah, we just gonna keep it moving. We gonna keep it moving, y'all. We gonna keep it moving. Everything's gonna be all right. So, how many votes we got on the poll question? 18. All right. If and when the poll question gets to 25, I'm gonna read your comments in its entirety. Marina says, JJ, I had a southern accent. Okay. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. All y'all got a southern accent? Damn. All y'all from down south? All of y'all? It's all good. Hit that like button, y'all. How are we stuck at 9 likes? How? Please help me out. Explain. How are we at only 9? How are we at only 9? 9. Only 9. Only 9. All right. If you ain't giving me nothing, if you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. You ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Hold on. Hold on. All right, cool. If you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Some people are so outright and blatant with that. They're so outright and blatant. Now, one thing I can give to them is that at least they ain't faking the funk. At least they're not trying to be something that they're not. At least they're not trying to pretend like they like something or love something or want to be a part of something that they really have no appreciation for. That's on a positive note. On a negative note, what do you mean just because I don't make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures? What do you mean that I nobody can tell me what to do? You ever get lost? You ever get lost in the hood nowadays? You can still get lost out here. You know, it's not as easy as it was back in the day because now all of the phones have a navigation system or GPS on their phones, right? But I remember the days when it wasn't like that. Only a chosen few had a cellular phone because it was very expensive. That's what it was. It was crazy expensive. We're talking about 1994. 1994. My man Jay Sloan is in the house. Was good. What up, my dude? All right. Andre says, I'm deep in East Texas. Real country boy. East Texas. All right. Jason says, I can listen to anybody on most things, but I won't take financial or business advice from anybody who's broke and has never had money. That's interesting. You won't take financial advice from them. Okay. I think with me, it would depend on who the person is and what the situation is for us relationship wise. Like if I know that you're tried and true, like, you know, you might not have a lot of money, but you might have a lot of heart. You might have a lot of intelligence. You might have a lot of altruistic qualities. Many and plenty altruistic qualities. Well, somebody's going to respect that. And I keep moving away from this statement. If you're a CEO of a business, then you work for that business. The CEO doesn't mean that you're the owner. It's Chief Operating Executive. Chief Operating Executive. It's like being a general in the army. Yeah, I'm a general, but I don't own the army. I don't even fight. 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 But yeah, a CEO is not the owner of a company. They are just the one person in the building that everybody from the lowest to the highest come holler at when it's a problem with the facility or whatever the situation is. It's the CEO dealing with mostly financial matters. Of course, many CEOs get involved. They get all crazy involved in the social atmosphere and all of that. Next thing you know, I said, next thing you know, you all jammed up and slammed up. Andre Goodson says, as a CEO, you still have to show up every day like everybody else. Pretty much. Now, you might get an exorbitant amount of vacation days and personal days, but you're on the right track. Damn, Black Seed is all the way at the bottom. And I don't feel like I don't feel like chewing black seeds right now. Not tonight. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. If you ain't giving me money, then you ain't telling me nothing. Let's do this. In the chat, what do you think the percentage of marriages? If you had to guess, because I don't think that there's any right or wrong answer concerning this. But if you had to guess, how many marriages are still on the books in the United States? Let's just say in the United States. The ones that end in separation or divorce, what would you say the number is? The number of people, as far as the number is concerned, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. What percentage of the people who either divorced or separated from each other, what percentage do you think of those couples trying to watch how I say this? Okay. What percentage of married couples or people who broke up did so because of money? How many families out there, what percentage do you think separates or divorces over money? Over money. And I'm talking about whether they give it or whether they receive it. Jason says, my guess is 1/3. I wonder if we can look that up. Let me see. Let's have a little look-see. What percentage of married people in the United States have separated or divorced because of money? AI Overview says money is a significant factor in the U.S. divorces, with estimates varying by survey, but recent data. Oh, sorry. But recent data suggests around 21% to 54% of marriages in the United States ended in divorce or separation of some kind. It was over money. 41%. I'm sorry, did it say 29%? Oh, no. It said 21 to 54%. That 54 awfully loud from 21. I don't know, man. Oh, they said the other factors that have been known to lead a person back to. Let me see. 21% of divorced couples report money is the primary cause of their divorce, with a higher rate of up to 33% for couples with greater income involvement. I'm not gonna read all this stuff. Okay. Okay, we good. We good. Thanos, you know you already said hi. Matter of fact, let me see. Make sure I ain't tripping. Uh-oh, it looks like I'm tripping. My bad, I could have sworn you were here already. Thanos, you're killing me. You're killing me. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, but so many people running around here talking about something. I don't work for nobody. What if you're a CEO, you work for somebody? That shit don't say owner. If it's a big corporation and they go to a Sixers game, you gotta ask, can you go? They ain't gotta ask, they already plugged in. It's all good, baby. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. All right, they say, boom, told ya. JJ says money is probably the least one of the reasons in 70% of all separations. No, it says, all right. What it says was around 21 to 54% of divorced individuals report financial issues like debt overspending and financially infidelity. Financially infidelity? Let's keep moving. As a contributing factor or the primary cause. While money disagreements are the top 3 cause for divorce, other significant factors include infidelity, basic compatibility, and poor communication. Poor communications, baby. You ain't talking to me about nothing, baby. You're not talking to me about nothing. Carrie Zilla, what's good? Nah, you still here with plenty of time. We're talking about if you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. If you ain't giving me money, telling me about nothing. Giving me money, ain't telling. If you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. Ah, the disrespect. The disrespect that some people have to go through just because they don't have money and move to Miami. But gangsters don't die. We get money and move to Miami. Oh, what's that? My glasses. They're all on the floor. What else is down there? Probably beating on this table. I spill shit. I got to get it together. I promise to get my life together. Okay. JJ Visno says, I was self-employed for 2/3 of working life. You still work for your customers, work to pay the mortgage and work to survive. That's what you saying exactly what I would say. But you can't tell these people nothing because they just know everything more than you. And I don't mean literally more than you, but that's what they think. They think that they know so much more than you. They know more. They know more. If you ain't giving me money, you ain't telling me nothing. If you ain't giving me nothing, then you ain't telling me nothing. Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. Are you ready? How about this? Before we go all the way back into the topic, man, all my East Coast people, why was it so chilly today? If my East Coast people don't know, then there's no rhyme or reason. There's no rhyme or reason. Just because. Just because it's been a long time since I played the funky triangle. It's the funky triangle. Jason Slow says Amazon is everybody's side piece. You know, me and Amazon been broke up for a little while. We've been broke up for a little while. I need a space. Amazon. Like, no, listen, not right now. When I'm ready to talk, I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. No, I'm not trying to get smart, but I'm not the type of person that you want to talk about right now. When I get my head right. After I get my money right. Okay. Gary Zilla says, I make my own money. Okay, cool. Look, I'm always down for that entrepreneurship. Gary says he's... Okay, hold on. Looks like we made it. Gary, okay. Oh, you said more cowbell? Oh, my bad. Carrie says the SNL skit I was referring to. I'm sorry. I don't watch SNL. I didn't know. Live from New York is Saturday night. Marvina Bigby says, I can love you through poor times, but infidelity is the kicker. Oh, yeah. Infidelity. How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? I mean, how much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? How much does it cost to keep somebody from cheating on you? Okay. Yeah. JJ says cheaters gonna cheat regardless. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You know what I mean? You gotta decide when dealing. If you ever dealt with a cheater, you gotta decide whether you could either move on from what they did, or are you gonna be striking back with every retaliation type of energy every time they are a little bit out of pocket or do something that's a little strange to you? What's it gonna be? Let me see. Nah, let me stop playing with y'all. All right. Sanji Langston? Sanji Langston. Interesting name. Carriezilla says, Amazon is my love. Man, that pipsqueak. JJ said, okay, wait. Saying she says, I'm glad I'm single, but I mean, if you're going to be single, you got to stand strong. That's what you have to believe in. You have to believe that your way of life is normal and that's the way it should be. But what we do, we want laws. But like I said, I don't think Donald Trump would be president of the United States if he wasn't known to be able to have money. If he wasn't known for being a billionaire back in the 80s. And I'm not sure if he ever returned to that billionaire status outside of when the money that he's making now grifting off of this administration's it's just I don't know how some people put up with themselves, but they do. And I'm here to help. How about you? Hopefully it's nothing serious. I heard that he lost his... Okay. Anyway. JJ says people are drawn to those they think can help them level up. That's true. Don't really like them. If you down don't really like them, but they expecting you to cut the pie in as many ways as possible. Cutting pies. JJ says people are drawn. Okay, I'm sorry. I already read that. Carrie says, JJ, hate to admit it, but that's it. But that is true for me. Let's see here. Okay. Was it this one? Hold on. You got it now, but it won't last. Yo, watch out. I'm gonna put for your ass. I forgot that I made this song up. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. You got it now, but it won't last. Yo, watch out. I'ma put a foot in your ass. Put a foot in your ass. Oh. Somebody here. Get them up out of here. Hold on. All right, cool. No, not cool. Okay. Not cool. Much cooler. Can't trust nothing nowadays. But I was looking for something. My scatterbrain ass is having trouble keeping focus. Let me see. Y'all get the gist.
Fuck is you niggas talking about? 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 Fuck is you niggas talking about?
Yeah.
Fuck is you niggas talking about? 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 Fuck is you niggas talking about?
Y'all ready?
Fuck is you niggas talking about? 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 Fuck is you niggas talking about?
Yeah. All right, we good. Jameso Omakunda. Jameso Omakunda was good. How you feeling? Good to see me some you. All right, what the guan? What the got away? Andre good to say, come on, Herbie Hancock. Yo, you go way back. Okay. Jason says, not to get too deep, but our society values resources, i.e. money, more than anything else. For that reason, people pick significant resources. For that reason, people with significant resources are afforded honor and respect, even if they're awful. And that's exactly what we was talking about before you came on. That's exactly what we was talking about. That's what I'm saying. I said, I don't think that Donald Trump would have ever gotten elected if he wasn't known to have been a billionaire. I don't think people would have ever given him a shot. But because he has money, they think that he'd be good for the economy. Oh, he can fix this thing because he's a billionaire. From what I understand, he just got back into billionaire status. From what I understand. I could be wrong. But that's what I understood. Dave Figueroa. My people's Dave Figueroa's all up in the house. Good to see me some you, my dude. My man, my mellow. Carrie says, I won't go out with someone that can't hold a job or wants to move in with me right away. I ain't mad at you. No, I'm not. No. That's Red Flag City, ain't it? Red Flag City. But people be doing it. And not two shits do they care. Even when it ends horribly, it's just par for the course for them. It's just part. That's just what we doing right now, and that's what it is. Is that what it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. Andre says she can't move in either. How we know? How do we know? How do we know? But yeah, man. Oh, make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all just, tap that like button thing. Get the likes up. Thumbs up. Get the likes up with the thumbs up. Okay. This is what we gonna do. We getting out of here. We getting out of here a little early tonight. I know I ended the show early last night. I'm gonna end it a little early tonight too. I gotta work on some things. I'm taking a hard look at some things. But y'all know we're gonna be back tomorrow night. Daily Go Getimism show, 1 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. I said 1 a.m. instead of 2 a.m. So, do I have a music topic for tomorrow? Let me see. Do I have a music topic for tomorrow? Oh no. Nah, that ain't gonna do it. Nah, we'll get to that bag later. All right. This is what we're gonna do. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 9th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. My man, Reek Ali, happy birthday to you. And also Nicole Williams, happy birthday. And last but not least, Sherry Horsey Darden. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious October 9th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the damn to rock out, rock on to do the damn rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, if you only like a person just because they have money, or you will only listen to the advice of a person that has a lot of money, even for non-financial advice, if money is a measurement of your intelligence or your integrity or your love level, or your friendliness, or your ability to be a friend, then you, sir, are in enemy territory. Sir or ma'am, you are in enemy territory, and I wish the best for you. Oh, I do. Yes, I do. But for those of us who base a person's worth on who they are, the energy that they bring, the skills that they have, the decent humanity in all of us. Most of us. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Wow, 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 1 a.m. So make sure y'all come on through, have a good time, come on through, let the stars shine, come on through, do your thing, y'all crazy, come on through. You know what I'm doing, baby. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Holla back, y'all. Peace.